That's how the next part goes.
Yeah, and we're back.
Yeah, hey guys, we missed a week.
Yeah, we missed a week.
Well, just because of inconvenience things, shit to do, whatever.
Yeah.
That shouldn't happen too terribly often.
No, I would hope not.
You never know.
We got to keep Amsterdam fucking proud.
Yeah, shout out to Amsterdam. Before anything else, let's talk about fucking Amsterdam for a second. Actually, tell us what the episode's about. Hook the people.
Today we're gonna, if you didn't get enough of it already, we're gonna give you a little more on the big John McCain experience the country's going through.
Can you
right
blame
now.
us, guys? It's a hot topic. Come on.
Yeah. He's gonna be doing the Super Bowl halftime show.
If you like John McCain, you might want to turn back now, because we don't.
Yeah.
Not to be a dick. Listen, I'm gonna give the short of it. I'll talk about it more later. But John McCain, not a nice guy. Now his funeral, whatever. People have to say nice things. I'm not expecting any more or any less. You know, it's clear that what these people said were bullshit. So whatever. It's just because they're at a funeral and they have to say the nice thing.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yes.
Anyway, back on Amsterdam real quick. Yeah, hey, we have almost 100 listeners from fucking like Amsterdam, or not 100 listeners, 100 plays.
Yeah.
And now I find that very hard to believe that one person's listening 100 times.
Yeah.
So here's my conclusion: is that there's at least 10 people who have listened to every episode. That's a possibility.
It's probably like one little smoke shop.
That would be fucking hilarious, dude. Just puts us on fucking replay. But
whatever. Thanks, Amsterdam.
Yeah. Hey, you guys are awesome. Keep up the support. Tell your Amsterdam friends. Say Herka Durka, come smoke with me and listen to this podcast. You know. I don't know how you guys talk.
Yeah.
But I heard Amsterdam's cool. All I know is that there's weed and hookers there, and that's all that you need, I guess.
That's fucked up.
Also, another shout out to Texas, where there's not weed or hookers, but that's okay.
Yeah. Texas is treating us pretty good.
But because you guys got guns. But whatever.
Yeah.
So, we were talking about. I was saying we need to save this for the podcast because it was a good fucking conversation before, because we test our audio and we were testing it and we were having a conversation and we were talking about when I first started like working next to Jake a lot, and I was like, holy shit, he breathes really loudly. I remember looking at him for a second. I was like, is he out of breath? Is he out of breath? Is he okay?
Is he dying?
Jesus Christ! Did he just like sprint or something before he got here?
Yeah,
because I'm sorry. Allow me to simulate what it sounds like. That's kind of what it's like. It's like and it's like Jake's not like a fat ass or anything like that. You know, like both of us are a bit chubby right now, but you know we're not like fucking irredeemably fat or anything. So I'm like, what the fuck? And it's like, did he just do something strenuous while I wasn't looking? I was like, no, it's just how he breathes. And it's like, I can contrast to me. Sometimes if I'm in a resting state, dude, sometimes I feel like I'm not breathing at all. Like sometimes I feel like my breathing is extremely quiet. Like I don't know. But I think that maybe it's a heart thing too, because I know that my resting heart rate is extremely low for some reason.
Fucking no.
It's that bottom number.
I just hope it keeps going.
You know the bottom. The bottom number.
Yeah.
Mine is like below the what's considered good.
Yeah, mine is actually normal now.
That's good.
A year ago, it was.
It was pretty bad.
An average blood pressure for me was. What the fuck was it? It was like. Dude, I don't even know. Like, a norm for me would be like. 196 over something 98.
Yeah. Mine I forget when I tested mine as a joke after you did yours and it was a horrible number. I did mine just to be a dick. I forget what mine was. When it was like 120 over 60 or something that. Mine was like really fucking low.
I'm down pretty good now though. I'm down where I should be anyway.
I forget what my number was, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if that contributes to it. You also smoke. I only have a cigar every once in a while.
Yeah, I gotta quit this smoking shit, dude.
It's whatever.
Death to me. So when last week we didn't do one last week. The week before, Drinking a Theory had 2 cars entered in our local. Here we call it like a local fair. A big fair, big festival. I don't know which. I'm sure everyone has them.
If you guys wanted to see a lot of half-naked 14-year-olds, you can drop on down. That's where you'll find them, the West End Fair.
But we entered demolition derby cars. Basically, you strip the cars apart, get in the arena with a bunch of rednecks, and see whose car outlasts everyone else. You just smash shit into each other.
You can see all kinds of freaks there too. It's kind of like a mix between a softcore porn and a fucking and a freak show at a circus. Because I remember I was walking with your kids. And your Tony's girlfriend, and we saw this lady holding like a doll head, that
was kind of fucked up.
And I was like, "What the fuck?" Yeah. I remember I turned to Tony and his girlfriend, and his girlfriend was like, "I want one of those," and I said, "I'm actually like I feel uncomfortable right now."
Yeah.
Like I feel itchy. I think I said I feel itchy. Like that feeling when you look at bugs and you're like,
yeah.
That's what I felt like. I looked at it and it made me anxious. I was like,
But our main car that I drove, I was in heat with 29 other cars. It was a one and done type thing.
You got pretty far in, man.
And I got pretty far. I got
down
to like
eighth?
I figured like 7.
Something.
I think there was about 7.
You were in the top 10.
There was about 7.
That means you were better than 2/3 of the competition.
We posted pictures of that, and even some of the other stuff we posted video of on Facebook, which is I guess still there. But Twitter, we periscoped on Twitter. That kind of disappears, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
Threw some pictures on Instagram, shit like that.
I don't know how to post videos on Twitter, but I think it's best to just have a pre-recording and put it on Twitter. Yeah.
But I was hoping to do a little more. I was hoping, get some kind of fucking footage from inside. It didn't happen.
Yeah, there's some last-minute preparations.
And it doesn't cost a lot of money to do this shit, but it takes fucking money. And budget was low, time was low, so I didn't get the full experience for the podcast that I wanted. Hopefully next year it'll be something a little different. So, but that's that.
Yeah. The whole demo derby thing looks cool. If you guys didn't know, I don't know if I ever told the story when I flipped my fucking car 4 times and I walked out of it like, hey, I'm okay, everybody. I got in a car accident. Was it last? No, it was 2
years ago.
It was 2 Octobers ago. Yeah, it'd be 2. It would be 2 this coming October.
2 years ago.
2 fucking years ago. I fucking, long story short, started fishtailing. I consider myself a good driver, but you know how there's always that margin of error. And my stupid ass hit the brakes while I was fishtailing, and it made it 10 times worse. And basically, I hit like a little hill. Dude, it was like out of a fucking action movie. Everything was going slow-mo for me, by the way. That's adrenaline for you. But I fucking hit this hill. There's like a little like bunk hill thing by this gun store. I literally got airtime. I fucking got airtime. My car did a half barrel roll. Okay, so it was upside down. It slammed upside down, and then it rolled like 4 times.
That's fucking crazy.
And then I fucking got out. Yeah. I got out. All I did was have a little nick on my head and a little nick on my finger.
Yeah, and that cost you like $20,000.
No. Well, the hospital bill. It's a funny story. The debt collectors for that fucking went out of business and they never fucking tied up their loose ends, so it didn't get passed on to someone else. You feel me? So it just got thrown away. But they're not gonna let me go yet. They still want me to pay $1,000 for my ambulance. So.
But yeah, did we name the song?
Oh yeah, the song. Here, I have the song named.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the song. Yeah, that band. The band name was it's called Guns and Blood in the Sand.
Wow.
That song in particular was called Dropping Bombs.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's from the album Blood Money. So.
Oh, wow. Holy shit.
Yeah, they're pretty hardcore, dude.
Oh, my God. Sounds pure evil.
Yeah, it sounds like somebody in particular.
Yeah.
Who would that be?
I don't know.
Somebody who probably dealt in a lot of weapons. probably cut a lot of backroom deals.
Wow.
Maybe it was very politically like a political piece of shit. I'm trying to think who it could be.
Oh, speaking of that, John McCain.
Oh, okay, yeah. What about John McCain?
Before we get going on John McCain, I thought it would be nice if, for John McCain and anyone listening, let's just have a moment of silence.
Should we really have a moment of silence? Is this real? Okay.
We're going to have a moment of silence right now.
All right, everybody put your hands together, put your heads down.
For John McCain.
To the Vietnamese people and the government of the DRVN. From John Sidney McCain, 624787, Lieutenant Commander, U.S. Navy, born 29 August 1936, Panama, home state, Florida. Shot down 26 October 1967, A-4E aircraft. I, as a U.S. airman, am guilty of crimes against the Vietnamese country and people. I have bombed their cities, towns, and villages and caused many injuries, even death, to the people of Vietnam. I was captured in the capital city of Hanoi while attacking it. After I was captured, I was taken to the hospital in Hanoi, where I received very good medical treatment. I was given an operation on my leg, which allowed me to walk again, and a cast on my right arm, which was badly broken in 3 places. The doctors were very good, and they knew a great deal about the practice of medicine. I remained in the hospital for some time and regained much of my health and strength. Since I arrived in the camp of detention, I have received humane and lenient treatment. I received discount treatment and food even though I came here as an aggressor, and the people who I injured have much difficulty in their living standards. I wish to express my deep gratitude for my kind treatment, and I will never forget this kindness extended to me.
This audio recording was found in a misplaced...
That was really interesting.
There was a mix-up there. I thought I was supposed to have a moment of silence.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's an interesting moment of silence. I feel like I hear sinister things in my left ear.
Yeah, that was.
So
some got mixed up.
Can you tell? All right, for real though, can you tell me what he really said there? Because I missed some things because the audio is bad.
Yeah, the audio is real choppy.
So give us a rundown just in case anybody was like, "What the fuck?" Was that?
Basically that was. Everyone knows John McCain got shot down over Hanoi, and he became a prisoner for 5.5 years. That was one of 30 audio clips that John McCain gave for the Viet Cong for propaganda tools. That was John McCain talking about...
Oh, was that him selling himself out? Was that him saying, I'll do this for you guys if you guys let me go?
Yes.
Yes.
And that's why a lot of veterans...
I have to question first 1 second. Did he ever show regret or at least acknowledgement of that?
He did say later in life that he regretted what he did.
You know what? Then I'll give him. You know what? I'll give him credit there because it's like I say with George Soros.
He said it was under the duress of all the torture he went through.
That's a possibility. I think that's possible.
Yeah. Everyone has their breaking point.
I'd do that. I'd probably do it earlier than 5 years.
Everyone has their breaking point. But the problem is other POWs saw other POWs die because they wouldn't do that. So that's where everyone says, the veterans are for John McCain. Yeah, they might be. There might be some veterans listening that are for John McCain. But there's a lot of veterans out there, too, that think he's
different. A coward.
Yeah. So
I disagree with that statement.
Me personally, I don't know because I would.
I know. I already know. Listen,
I've never been tortured.
I'm a man. I am a man of. I consider myself brave. I think in the face of danger, I don't think I would break necessarily. However, torture isn't danger. Torture is torture.
Yeah.
And here's what I'll say about this. I don't believe in martyrs.
Yeah.
I think martyrs are ultimately a means to an end. I think that they're just kind of like a statement. That's all that they are at the end of the day is a statement. And you lose all use after that statement.
Yeah.
I don't believe in martyrs. I think you can be a martyr without dying. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so like that being said, if it were me, I probably would have fucking gave up a lot earlier.
Yeah.
I would have been like, all right, listen, if you guys fucking let me go, if I do this, please just let me fucking do it. I'd probably do that after a couple months. I'm going to be real with you, Chief. So it's like, that's one thing I'll give him credit for. As long as he admitted, like, yo, I fucking regret doing that.
Yeah.
Unlike a certain man from, what was he, from Germany? George Soros?
Oh, yeah.
Was it Germany? Yeah. You know, I don't feel bad about what I did. yeah, I sold out my fellow Jewish people, but I don't really feel bad. You gotta do what you gotta do, you know what I mean? Dude, if it were me, I'd be like, dude, I'll never forget what I did to these people just so I could survive.
Yeah.
I did do what I had to do, but much against my personal will. Like, and that's all I'm asking.
Yeah,
As long as he admitted, like, yo,
Yeah.
that was a fucked up thing I did, I'll give him credit for that.
Okay, so if it's cool with you, I have some stuff here. It's just a history of him.
Uh-oh. Go on.
Is everything good?
Yeah. No, I touched something like.
Okay, well, it's just a history of him. I just want to blast through it. If you have any questions while I'm saying this stuff, just
Yeah, I'll ask questions.
All right. So I'm gonna give you a little rundown of John Sidney McCain the third, big time, the third. So he was born August 29th, 1936, as John Sidney McCain III.
Yes.
He was born to John Sidney McCain Jr. and Roberta Wright, who is still fucking alive. She was at his funeral. They rolled her old bones out. She probably didn't even know where she was. She's 106 years old. They pushed a wheelchair up to the casket. It didn't even look like she knew where the fuck she was. But she was the father of course, an oil person.
The mother.
The mother, yeah. She was the daughter.
Oh, daughter.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm sorry. I totally messed that up. Because I was still picturing the 106-year-old lady being rolled over to the fucking casket on the circus that was on TV.
Dead.
Dude, she probably was like, what the fuck? Why am I here? Who is this? Who's John? I don't even know who John is.
I just shit my pants.
Yeah, I just shit my pants. Okay. So his father was John Sidney McCain Jr.
Mm-hmm.
He was a 4-star United States Navy admiral, just like his father.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a thing here.
Yeah, well, they've been a line of admirals. There was before this 4-star admiral, I believe his father was an admiral.
When I was looking into this, it made me think. Remember Forrest Gump, where Lieutenant Dan. Or Forrest was talking about Lieutenant Dan's family.
Yeah.
And you see all these bodies dropping in every war.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, that's what I thought of. Like, this guy's fucking Lieutenant Dan here. But, he was an admiral. He served from 1940s to the 1970s. He was commander of the United States Pacific Command during the Vietnam. He kind of switched in the middle. He was a U.S. naval... he commanded the U.S. naval forces in Europe. He served in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. And, of course, his father, the first, he was a fucking 4-star admiral as well. John McCain actually wasn't born in the U.S. here. He was born down in the Panama Canal.
Yeah, I know that.
At Coco Solo Naval Air Station.
Coco Solo.
Now, I don't know if that's like named after Han Solo or not.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is.
Might be.
Because,
that
happened a long, long time ago.
So that
in a galaxy far, far away. Star Wars jokes. Hey, nerds out there, like this? Yeah.
So since his father was who he was, John traveled most of his life. His teenage up to his teenage years, most of life was on the road. He went to like 30 different schools. He ended up going to the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis. Supposedly he was a partier. He was a badass.
That seems to be all of them, right? The politicians always seem to be. Yeah, I recall House of Cards. That was the same thing with House of Cards.
Yep.
With Kevin child molesting Spacey. I'm gay.
I'm not a molester. I'm gay. Oh, it's okay.
But it seems like that's just a common theme amongst these politicians. Is that I think that wasn't that the case with HW?
He was a coker.
Yeah,
he was into the cocaine.
Yeah, same thing with Clinton.
Oh, fucking Clinton.
Who else was a partier? The only one I can't really, one that sticks out to me is what's his face, Peanut Farmer Man.
Jimmy Carter.
Yeah. He's still alive, yeah?
Oh,
Yeah,
barely, but he is.
No,
Yeah.
I heard he's fucking still... he's up and walking, dude. He's building houses for homeless fucking vets, dude.
Oh, my God,
yeah.
man.
What the fuck? Step your game up, John McCain. You're dead.
He's got yeah, right?
First you couldn't win the presidency, now you're dead?
Fucking dude, what a fucking loser. Okay. All right, so he went to the Naval Academy at Annapolis there. He was in a class of 899 fellow classmates, and you're not going to believe it, but he graduated 894th among his classmates. So
you have to try hard to suck that bad, bro.
So he
to
was,
be beyond,
he was
listen,
number 5.
It's
from
the
the
same
bottom.
thing. It's the same thing with Siege. To be below the halfway point, you have to try to be that bad, or not even halfway. To be in like the bottom, like third, I'd say you have to be like intentionally bad, because like I don't know, man. That's bad. That's really fucking bad.
Yeah. Okay. Now he spent 2.5 years training in Pensacola, Florida. He became a naval aviator. Yeah.
So he was Navy.
Yeah.
And he flew planes.
Yeah.
So he wasn't Air Force.
Yeah. No, he was a Navy pilot.
Okay.
And even there, he earned the rep of being the party guy, the party animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, in the Navy, it kind of sucks.
And
so.
they said he was...
Well, every division sucks. Not that they suck. You get what I mean. Being in the military sucks.
And a lot of the stuff I read and listened to, now you take this at face value, however you want to take it. But a lot of people said he was, he was the cocky pilot. He was, he was Top Gun, a maverick.
Yeah. Was his Top Gun fucking based on him?
Right. I don't know.
Talk to me, Goose. Except for he kills Goose.
Actually, listen. We'll get into it a little later. There is a guy from a movie that if he wasn't based on John McCain, he should be, and I'll talk about that in a little bit.
All right.
Yeah, here in the rep party animal. Became a naval pilot and for ground attack aircraft.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
What plane did he fly, If you don't, you don't.
Yeah, I don't know. It was
just
I'm not familiar with the names of the planes back then. Newer planes I kind of know, but I don't know. I probably listened to it and seen it a million times. It had some.
I think he was one of the people who he flew those what's it called, an air raid vehicle. Like put your hands up, haha. That was Limp Bizkit, gamer nerds. Like this status if owned.
Put your hand. A lot of people said he was a subpar flyer. And he tended to be careless, and he tended to be reckless when he was in the cockpit. So, during the early 60s, two of his...
He may have flown a Douglas A-1 Skyraider.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Yes.
An A-1 Skyraider.
Cool.
Yeah.
Those things are cool.
Yeah. Yeah, they look pretty badass for the time.
I'm pretty sure that Eminem has this on the front of his new album.
Oh, don't even get me going with that. He copped that from the fucking Beastie Boys. Oh well, no. Who was it? Big Tom said that he was paying homage. Yeah. To the Beastie.
Homage.
Yeah, homage. That means he ripped them the fuck.
Homage.
Yeah, homage.
Oh God, that's a fancy.
Yeah, and the left's already ripping him because he had some homo stuff in there that they didn't like, so they're ripping him.
Sorry, buddy, it's not the early 2000s anymore.
Yeah. They don't like him anymore because Trump won't go after him. He can say all he wants about Trump, but Trump is just like...
Imagine being such low-hanging fruit that not even Trump would
go
for
not
you.
Even Trump fucking cares. Speaking of Tom Arnold, anyway. So yeah, in the early 60s, two of his flight missions crashed.
Wow, what a fuck up.
Yeah, and then another mission, he flew into some
Sky King did better.
He flew into some power lines, and... So that's a couple million there. He fucking trashed.
Wow.
At age 28,
wasting taxpayers' money even before he was a politician.
At age 28, in 1965, he married a model. It was his first marriage.
Nice.
Yeah, Carol Shep. She was actually out of Philadelphia. He adopted her 2 kids, and then they popped out one, and they named it Sydney. Shit, and I don't know if it's a boy or a girl because I don't fucking care. So Sydney, I think it was a girl.
I'd say
sure.
for the times, if you were to name someone Sydney, it definitely has to be a girl. I mean, I don't know how well that would fly back in the day.
Yeah, and then after that, he finally got his combat assignment, which was the USS Forrestal. It was an aircraft carrier. His combat duty began when he was 30. By mid-1967, he was taking part in Operation Rolling Thunder in the war in Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
Operation Rolling Thunder, I'm pretty sure that was just the U.S. bombing the fuck out of
Let me look it up.
North Vietnam.
Operation, what was it?
Operation Rolling Thunder.
No, not Rolling Tide.
Rolling Tide.
Operation Rolling Thunder. I looked up Operation Rolling Thunder, and it looked up Operation Rolling Thunder near Cresgeville, PA.
Wow.
Impressive.
Wow, we have a fucking Rolling Thunder.
No, we don't.
Oh.
We do have a place in New Jersey, though, called Rolling Thunder National. It's a veteran organization. I think that's probably a bad name for a veterans organization.
Yeah. That doesn't sound
Every
right.
time you look at it, the name Rolling Thunder, you're brought back.
Yeah, that's kind
You
of...
smell the burning hair. You feel
flesh.
the screaming children.
Fucking Danang's all lit up. Oh my god.
Okay, let's see it. Implementation. Okay. Okay. It was a 3-stage operation. A, reducing North Vietnamese support of communist operations. B, limiting North Vietnamese capabilities to direct. And C, impairing North Vietnam's capacity to continue industrial. Basically, just bombing their fucking most important shit. Basically.
Yeah.
It was basically bombing their production and their army bases and shit.
Yeah.
That was strategic persuasion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was literally they just bombed the shit out of their critical shit. I mean, I don't even know why you'd give that an operation name. That sounds pretty retarded.
I don't know. So in July 29th, 1967, he was upgraded to lieutenant commander, or promoted.
Imagine crashing 2 planes and fucking up that much and getting promoted.
Yeah, I know, right?
The fuck do I have to do that?
So
do I have to fuck up harder where we work to get promoted?
I know, right? It seems that way.
Should I just start fucking dropping shit on the floor?
Start sucking the boss's dick.
No, that's not a fucking... I got some drink in my eye. Fuck. I'm injured. I'm an injured vet.
So, during that time, like I said, he was on the USS Forrestal. Yep. And if anyone looks up the USS...
What did he get promoted to, by the way?
Lieutenant commander.
Wow.
Yeah. So, he was on the USS Forrestal and the Gulf of Tonkin.
Tonkin. That sounds familiar.
Right? Is that it? Yeah, I think so.
That sounds familiar. Go on.
So, if anyone looks up USS Forrestal, I'm really not going to get into it that deep here. I will talk about it in a little bit because there's conspiracy theories. But the USS Forrestal is the aircraft carrier, and they had a little accident on the carrier there. And John McCain, of course, was right in the middle.
Basically, here's what did happen.
Yeah.
What happened is
Yeah.
John McCain was doing burnouts donuts with his jet, and he killed 30 million people.
Yeah.
I don't know, fucking.
they some of the jets on the plane were carrying this thing called a Zuni rocket. I guess the Zuni was the Zuni.
We still use them, I think.
Yeah, well, back then it was the older versions, and they were still a little outdated, I guess. And they had an electrical problem. Next thing you know, they're getting ready to do a sortie over North Vietnam, and one of these planes taking off, it just fired a fucking missile, dude. It fired this Zuni right across the fucking deck of the carrier, and it ended up supposedly whacking the plane next to John McCain's. And then from there, all hell just ensued. Shit was blowing up. Bombs were blowing up. The fucking fire took 24 hours to put out. It killed 134 sailors. 70.
Wait. How many sailors?
It killed 134.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. The total injured was like over fucking 300 or something like that.
Wow.
The story goes is he was trying to escape his jet. He was trying to help another pilot escape when a bomb on the aircraft exploded. He was struck in the chest and legs with fucking shrapnel. So the Navy did this big investigation. They determined that it was an electrical anomaly caused by the Zuni rocket on an F-4B Phantom.
Yes. And now you owe us forever.
And when it fired, it struck an external fuel tank on an A-4 Skyhawk. So it was a big fucking mess, dude. Like a big mess.
That's funny because, it'd be really fucking funny if the true story is not the conspiracies or anything. If it was a matter, like a missile did get launched.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's actually video.
Of the missile getting launched?
Yeah, see, this is something interesting I learned from looking into this. All our aircraft carriers in our arsenal, they all have basically movie cameras on them. And they film every plane taking off. They film every plane landing.
If you're spending millions to billions on them, you should.
Well, that's part of the routine. Because then they use that for training videos. Like in this situation, you can actually find a training video on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because they use this situation as one of their main training videos.
Yeah.
Of what not to fucking do.
Yeah.
Because it was just a chaotic mess. And it actually changed a bunch of rules in the Navy.
Well, that being said, it would be really funny if it was nothing, really. If it was just John McCain. And he was stuck in his cockpit or something, and he was just moving. If he just pushed the button with his ass.
Well, see.
Oh fuck.
see, we'll talk about that in a little bit, because there are some people that believe other shit. I'm not saying I do. I don't know.
We'll see.
I don't know. This topic's new to me, so I just know him as the fucking politician.
I think that he.
I
think that he constructed a communist gas attack upon his own ship. And I don't know where I was going with it.
So the Forrestal is a wreck, okay, and that was his ship. So what he did, he put in for a transfer to another ship, and so on October 26, 1967, on his 23rd bombing mission over North Vietnam, he was shot down by a missile over Hanoi. Okay.
A missile. Any specific thing with that?
No.
Anti-air or something?
Yeah, it's just probably some Russian anti-air fucking missile.
Oh yeah, the Russians were supplying them.
Yeah,
That's
they
right.
were supplying.
That's right.
So when that happened, he fractured both arms and a leg when he ejected. Then he nearly drowned in a lake. Some North Vietnamese got him, beat the fuck out of him. Boof, he ended up in the Hanoi Hilton. So he was transported to the Hanoi Hilton, which was actually called, I guess it's How Lo prison.
How low go you?
I don't know. Chicken fried rice. That's what I know.
I think that's what it was called.
At first, he said the captors refused his treatments.
Before you continue, I would like to apologize for my incredibly racist interpretations of Asian people.
They refused treatment. He was fucking beaten. He was only given medical treatment when they discovered who his father was. His father was, of course, the Admiral.
Oh, that's why they started calling him Prince.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he got the nickname in the Hilton, Hanoi Hilton, as the Prince, because he was the son of a fucking 4-star admiral.
Oh, ding ding ding, we got big guy.
Which leads into other stuff that veterans would say, but we'll get into that.
We got big man, big pants. Yeah, we bring him, we stab him with pokey pole.
The story goes, he spent 5.5 years there. The reason he was there so long
Put him in bamboo cage. I'm sorry.
The reason he was The reason he was there so long is because he supposedly told his captors he wouldn't be released until those that were captured before him were released.
Mm-hmm.
So he told his captors that this is how it's going to be. But anyway. Okay, so when he got home, he found out his wife, Carol, had been crippled too. She was while he was in prison. She
got
didn't
fucked too hard.
she didn't tell him. She was in a bad car accident.
I don't know if she can tell him. How crippled was she?
Well, they were actually communicating back and forth. After a while, they were able to send letters and shit like that.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, like, how disabled was she? Not.
She was in a fucking wheelchair, dude.
Yeah, but like, did she still have her hands? Was she still able to write letters?
Obviously.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, or was she like fucking? Was she like what's it?
No, she wasn't.
What's that
retarded.
What's that dead smart guy that just died? Oh yeah, Stephen Hawking.
No, she wasn't that bad. She wasn't that bad.
John,
she was in a fucking wheelchair.
My brain dead.
She was in a wheelchair. Her fucking legs and shit were fucked up.
Well, you know what?
So he found that out. He's like, what the fuck? And then once he returned, he was kind of like this celebrity. Like a celebrity of sorts. And like political people really loved
that
him.
happens all the time.
Yeah.
There's sometimes people come back from Afghanistan and they get big they get like TV time.
Oh yeah.
Big time.
And the politicians liked him, and so they would dust him off and bring him out for political moments and shit like that. Oh my god, there's so much shit here. He went through. This is what I find weird because he couldn't lift his arms even.
That's because of the torture. Yeah.
Oh, well, no, actually.
That's
another thing.
It wasn't because of the torture.
It was because his arms and his shoulders were fractured so bad from the ejection. Because people say he didn't do his ejection right. I guess there's a way you do an ejection, and he didn't do it right. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not a fucking pilot, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even right before he died, he couldn't lift those arms up, but yet. In 1974, they declared him fully rehabilitated.
Rehabilitated.
They consider him fully rehabilitated.
I think you rehabilitate my brain.
And his flight status was actually reinstated. Now, how the fuck? But anyway.
Well, I don't think you need to reach up for flight because I don't think in those jets you need to reach up. It's not like a jumbo jet.
So in '76, he became a training officer, commanding down there in Florida. I guess where he was trained himself. During his time in Florida, he kind of fucked everything that moved. That's what they say. Yeah, he was fucking everything. I don't know if his wife in the wheelchair couldn't fuck or what, but
I don't know. But I'd imagine that's a big problem to get her out of the wheelchair and lay her on her back. Like, okay, can you get her on all fours? And then she just kind of fumbles the fuck over.
Yeah.
What a fucking idiot. Fucking wheelchair idiot. You can't even fucking get on all fours, you stupid bitch.
Interesting thing about her accident.
Oh yeah.
Is while John was over there. Are you familiar with the name Ross Perot? Some people might not be.
I'm familiar with the name. I don't remember who it is.
Yeah, Ross Perot was actually the guy with the big ears and the funny voice. He ran for president.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah.
He ran for president against George Bush the First and Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
And he actually got to debate with them and shit. I think.
Yeah.
But Ross Perot actually financed this woman's medical bills, and because he was all about military people, and somehow he got a hold of the story.
He still gets brought up a lot.
He knew people through people, and he took care of this lady and made sure all her bills were paid. And so I don't know what the deal there was, but he had some nasty shit to say about John McCain too. But anyway,
nasty shit. Okay.
Yeah, I think I think I have that. I have a quote from him. I'll get to that then. 1977, he became the Navy's liaison to the U.S. Senate.
What does that mean?
That means he got to hang out with these senators, and he would beg them for money. The Navy needs this. The Navy needs that. He was like their go-between between the Senate and the Navy. Whenever they wanted to know something about the Navy, they hung out with John McCain. So during that time, John McCain got to meet a lot of senators, congressmen. He was being...
liaison is somebody who establishes connections with people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so through that position, he became a Washington regular. And not only that, he got to fly all around the world with some of these people.
Mm-hmm.
If you listen to any of the funeral, which you probably didn't because it was just fucking ridiculous. But I listened to some of it.
Sometimes you have to give up your rights for responsibility.
Yeah. But like Joe Biden was one of those guys that McCain got to, go around the world with.
Yeah.
As a liaison.
Biden's younger than McCain. Yeah. McCain's in his 80s.
Late
80s.
I think Biden. I think I heard Biden say during the speech that Biden himself, I think, became a senator at 29. I think he said.
That must have been before certain rules, because I'm pretty sure you have to be 30 to be.
I don't know.
It might be 25. I might be wrong.
I'm pretty sure he said he was.
Yeah, it might be 25.
29.
It might be 25. How old do you have to be to buy weed cigarettes?
Yeah. So.
You have to be 30. You have to be 30. So it must have been. Wait, was he became a congressman or a senator? Did he say congressman?
You know what? Maybe it was a
because to be in the
Maybe
be in House, you only have to be 25, if I remember.
I don't know. It's to listen to those eulogies was kind of difficult for me.
Yeah, House of Representatives is 25. He may have become a House person, or maybe he might have been like 30, technically 30. Who knows? Who the fuck knows?
But because by the time I got to Biden's eulogy, I had listened to so many other ones, and Biden's the only one who I guess knows what the term eulogy is, because he's the only one who treated it like a fucking eulogy.
Yeah, we don't like Joe Biden here, but it was a good.
I'm not a fan of Joe Biden, not in the fucking least.
Yeah.
But at least that guy treated it like a eulogy and not a fucking Antifa rally. But anyway. So in 1979, he met this chick, Cindy Lou Hensley. She was a teacher from Phoenix, Arizona. He met her out there in Hawaii. She was actually on spring break. Was it spring break or something? And he was out there with some other senators and shit, doing naval liaison.
So she was
shit,
in the right place at the right time. And the horny little fucking John McCain.
The party animal.
Is that your fucking daughter?
And,
imagine just creepily being like,
just a little thing about Cindy Lou Hensley is her father, he was loaded out the ass with money in Arizona there. He had something to do with the beer industry and Anheuser-Busch, and he just had money falling out the fucking ears. So they began dating. And then he asked his wife, Carol, if they could get a divorce. So Carol and John got divorced April of 1980, and John and Cindy married in May of 1980.
Nice. I just want to make something clear real quick. I just wanted to bring this up. Don't know if anybody cares. You know how people make fake porn of celebrities and shit like that?
Yeah.
And they slap their faces on, like, fake, like, porn stars?
Yeah.
Somebody's out there putting Cindy McCain's face on porn stars.
Oh, that's wicked.
That's incredible, man. Because she don't even... I mean, she's kind of hot as an old lady. Like, I'd definitely hit it. But, like, honestly, I want to know what she looked like. Oh, my good loving God. I'm looking at some funny pictures here. There's a picture of her in a wheelchair. Oh, that's a real picture.
Oh, my God.
That's a real picture.
So, when John and Cindy got married...
how do you spell her last name, by the way? How do you spell her full name?
Who?
His wife.
His wife is Cindy Lou.
Cindy. How do you spell Lou?
Lou.
Okay.
Hensley.
Yeah. Young images. Yeah, that's right there. I want to see her young. I want to see what she looked like back in the day. She was banging. She was kind of banging. Yeah, she's pretty. Is that your fucking daughter? Can I have your daughter?
They actually, when they got married, they signed a really hardcore prenup because she was fucking rich. And she was rich as fuck.
Let me tell you, prenups back in them days were a little bit different from prenups nowadays. You see, I would sign a prenup because of just the nature of how relationships work nowadays, and you never know when you're going to get cheated on. So I would sign a prenup because, I wouldn't want, you never know when things are just going to end.
Yeah, it happens.
But that's nowadays. Yeah. Now, that was, when was that, back in the 80s?
Yeah, this was 1980.
Yep.
So, they actually signed a hardcore prenup and kept all their assets separate. Kind of like a business deal, you know?
Mm-hmm. Like an arranged marriage. Well, he was hanging out with the guy, with the Cindy's father, right?
Afterwards, he went to work for Cindy's father.
But he met her. Oh no! Well, he was.
He
was friends with the politician that was friends with her father.
Yeah.
So it was a setup.
Yeah, and his groomsmen at that wedding were actually two big senators at the time, William Cohen and Gary Hart, which were two high-ranking senators at the time.
Yeah.
I'm almost done here. I just got a couple more things.
Yeah, after we get through the details, we're just going to talk about John McCain.
I was just going nuts with the information. I just kept taking.
No, it's fine, dude. No, I'm just saying, this is how we can do things on this podcast. Everything. We're just going to start by giving you all the info, and then we're going to talk about it. That's like how you don't just start telling somebody your opinion of something without telling them what the fuck it is first. Yeah. It's like you don't just run up to somebody and say, I really, really like Battletoads. I really love Battletoads, and they may have never heard of Battletoads. I fucking love Battletoads. Battletoads had the best fucking gaming experience of all times. I want to talk about Battletoads. Talk about Battletoads with me. And you're just sitting there like, I don't know anything about Battletoads. Why the fuck would I talk about Battletoads with you?
Okay. So, in April 1981, he retired from the U.S. Navy as a captain.
Yeah.
He was designated by the Navy as disabled. So he was awarded full disability pension from the U.S. Navy. And then he moved to Arizona. He went to work with Cindy's father at Hensley and Company. He went right to vice president of the company. He started to gain political support among local businesses in Arizona. And in 1982, it moved so fast for him.
That was over 2 years.
In 1982, he won his first election he entered, which was Arizona's first congressional district, which was being vacated by a 30-year incumbent Republican.
So I have to ask you, do you think he sacrificed the baby before or after all this happened?
I don't fucking know.
Because it was going pretty fast. He may have sacrificed the baby before.
It went quick. It went quick because that was at 82. He won his first election as congressman. In 83, he was already started getting assigned. He was assigned to the House Committee on Interior Affairs. And the same year, interesting, the same year, he actually opposed the creation of a Martin Luther King Jr. federal holiday. Just had to throw that in. Yeah.
But what?
Yeah.
Wait. I was going to say, you know what? Maybe that's understandable for the times. And I remember, wait. That's 19... What was that?
1980. That's 1983, dude.
Dude, it's fucking like 20 years after the fucking event.
Yeah.
He's a national hero at this point. Yeah. I'm talking about Martin Luther King. It's not like it was right after. It's not like it was up for debate. It was... No. He is now considered like a hero among people. And you're...
Yeah.
Oh, Christ. You guys, not you guys, but you know what I mean. Some people on the left and some really loopy people on the right, you guys are way too loyal to this guy. He's a fence sitter, dude.
Yeah. So in the 80s there, his political views kind of fell in line with Reagan's. If you look into it, they kind of fell in line with Reagan's.
Huh, ironic. He really doesn't like Trump, though.
And here's where it really takes off for him. In 1984, he gained a spot on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. That's a big committee to get on there.
Yeah.
And then in 1987 was the first year he was elected to the Senate.
Yeah,
that's when his Senate career began. Was
and it never ended since.
Yeah, and he actually succeeded longtime American conservative.
That's 31 years.
Who's like an icon with the conservatives, Barry Goldwater. He succeeded that guy. And then eventually he went on to join the Armed Services Committee, the Commerce Committee. He joined this committee, Indian Affairs Committee, which he was the main author of the 1988 Indian Gaming Regulatory Act. He pretty much set up the deal for Indians to have casinos on. And it's
this
funny.
Guy's dirty, dude.
And it's funny too because if you look into autobiographies of other people that talk about John McCain, they say he was a big time gambler. He loved gambling. And then he's the dude who writes up the fucking artwork here for the Indian Gaming Commission.
Do you guys think you can make some casinos? This guy was a great dad, though.
And of course, we all know in 2000 he tried to get the Republican nomination for the presidency. Bush fucking clocked him. And then we know in 2008 he won the nomination and he failed miserably there. And just to point out too, he co-authored the legislation to create the 9/11 Commission. And like everyone else throws stuff in, he supported the war in Iraq. And one other thing, and I forgot to I forgot to jot down the name of it. He was actually on a committee as well where they were looking into POWs and MIAs from Vietnam.
Yeah.
And him and John Kerry were part of that deal.
Was John Kerry ever a vet?
Yeah.
He's a vet?
Yeah.
Was he in Vietnam as well?
Yeah, I believe so.
I was just curious.
I'm pretty sure he was. Some people say he wasn't. Like he was one of those guys that took the Chintzy way or some shit.
You mean like he was one of those guys who worked in like a radio operation tower or some shit, and he was like, I fucking killed people.
Yeah.
Like that one serial killer. There's that one guy. Do you remember those pair of guys who they made the home videos of them murdering women? It was Charles.
Oh yeah.
The white guy. He pretended that he was destroyed by the acts of war. The guy was like a radio control tower operative.
Yeah.
Like he didn't even see fucking combat.
Yeah. but he actually, so him and Carrie, they had this little deal. These people wanted to know, POWs, they're over there. The missing in actions, there's still guys over there. We want them. And so
wait, there's still guys in Vietnam?
Well, this was in the 80s.
So
that this went down. So
it was only like 15 years about.
Dude, you know how we are with math.
Well,
Mike,
what year?
We didn't even say Jesus Mike ain't fucking here.
Yeah,
fake
sorry,
Jamie.
Guys. Yeah,
fake Jamie.
He has shit to do today.
Yeah.
He's meeting with some friends or something like that.
Yeah. So we can't even tell him to look it the fuck up.
Well, I've been looking shit up, but wait, when did he do the missing in action?
I can't remember the date. It was like the mid 80s.
Oh wait, so mid 80s. Okay. The Vietnam War ended in, was it 72?
I think it was like 72.
Or look it up. When fucking hell, Jesus Christ, Google. When did Vietnam end?
72, 10.
It ended in 73 officially. The mandatory,
so
the draft,
50,
the draft.
We'll say 15 years.
Well, okay, so that would be 10, like anywhere between like 12 to 15 years.
Yeah.
So so there were still guys over there after 15 years.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I imagine they'd be all dead by then, but no, not saying that in a fucked up way.
That's another thing, and we're going to talk about here because that's all I'm going to tell you about John McCain. That's the basics.
Mm-hmm.
I encourage anyone to go check it out themselves unless you're sick of hearing about John McCain. But
If you're sick about hearing John McCain, not that I don't want you guys to not listen. I want you guys to obviously listen.
Yeah,
but
if
you're sick of it, you can tune out. It's okay.
No. No. I just, you see all this shit on the news, and
You're getting multiple different opinions. You're getting overloaded.
Yeah.
Getting information overload. That's why I don't watch news.
Yeah.
I don't watch news anymore.
Exactly.
Because I don't like the information overload. When I'm sitting in the living room with my mom and my dad, because I hang out with them in the living room sometimes. Sometimes I just feel like talking to them. And dude, sometimes they just have Fox on, and I'll sit there and just complain the whole time. I'll be like, why are we watching this shit? Why are we fucking watching this? This is fucking I'm not saying Fox has been pretty good lately, but that's just because the guy in the Oval Office right now is on their side. So that's the only reason they've been good lately. So because I remember before that they sucked. They sucked worse than CNN. So it was like, it's like this. I don't even like watching Fox. Watching Fox frustrates me. The only people I like watching on Fox are Hannity and Tucker Carlson. And if you're sick of the information overloaded, you're sitting here and you watch a lot of news, get off the TV, man. Look up some alternative news sources. It's a lot less overwhelming. It's easier to keep track of. Look for shit where you're not getting a biased fucking viewpoint. Don't even like if you want something without an opinion, don't even like for example, I really like Breitbart.
Yeah.
Don't even watch don't go to Breitbart either if you don't want an opinion.
Yeah.
That's a bad place to go as well. Some alternative news sources aren't even that good. So it's like you need to find a good they tell the straight news.
Yeah.
So, if, that being said, I can understand if you don't want to listen to this one.
Yeah.
You're sick of all the shit.
Yeah.
I'm sure you just want it to pass. You want to live your everyday fucking life. Well,
so now let's start trashing them because you understand.
Guys,
we don't like them.
If you like John McCain, now might be the time where you might.
We don't like them. And the funny thing is, and I don't care. I've embraced it now. I know our first episode we said we were going to try to stay away from the. What's going on?
It touched a wire and it fucked up. God. Oh no. In there.
What?
Oh shit! Hold on, let's pause. Sorry guys,
Yeah,
we had to cut out there for a second. We had some audio problems.
Yeah, I was saying our first episode, we talked about how we weren't going to be the political guys, but whatever. I fucking embraced it now. I don't care.
I just realized something with all that noise. I should have turned that into a bit so I didn't have to edit that out later. I should have been like, "Oh God, we were just hacked by the CIA."
Yeah.
Fuck.
But
guys, we were hacked by the CIA.
I clearly have a disdain for John McCain. So let's go back to his capture. Okay, over in Vietnam. Is everything good?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going back to his capture over in Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys say, you can find it on YouTube, you can find it in articles, guys that were over there, they tend to have a different story than he had as to the fact that he wasn't beat every day like all the other guys.
I'm not saying this is absolutely true, but it seems like the people who have good things to say about him have a stake in him.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I'm sure there's people who have said good things about him out of goodwill, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But it just seems like a lot of the people that talk good about him is because they have to.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's a liar. I don't know if the fucking guy was beat or not.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying other people tend to disagree. They think he was pampered over there. Actually, there's people out there that call him Songbird McCain. And supposedly he got that nickname because when he first came in to the Hanoi Hilton, he talked. He did whatever they wanted him to do. He said whatever they wanted to fucking hear. So there's actually people that call him Songbird. I don't know if that's true. A lot of people say that the only reason he got to where he was because of his father and his grandfather. Like, he probably shouldn't have graduated the Naval Academy because he sucked at it.
Mm-hmm.
To
be fair, he was set up. He was set up because he had a naval. It's just like his son right now is in Naval Academy, right? And I'm not saying that his son's a piece of shit, but I'm just saying, like,
it's going to be easier for his son than anyone else.
Because it's almost like getting referenced for a job by somebody who used to work there.
McCain privilege.
Like, for example, like when I applied at both Turkey Hill and Kmart, because my buddy Glenn used to work there, and he was a big deal there.
Yeah.
I think he was a manager at Kmart or Turkey Hill. I don't remember. Applied at both. I got a call back pretty early.
Yeah.
That's when I needed a job from our job when I was getting no hours.
Yeah,
but then I ended up getting hours like immediately after that. So like I ended up not taking the jobs. Boy, was I fucking wrong. I should have fucking took those jobs. But anyway, I think it's like the same thing, especially if like your dad, like for example, I'm sure because my dad who works at Redner's, like let's say I wanted to fucking work at Redner's for the rest of my life. Yeah. I'm sure if I put him in, like, you know, the meat guy. The guy who worked in meat, you know, the guy that, like, totally raised your sales at multiple stores and the meat department and took care of shit. He was my dad. I'm sure they'd give me a fucking call back. Yeah. You know, it's I think it's the same thing in the military. If you have, especially if they're high ranking, you kind of got it in. More only if you're high ranking. You got an in now.
And some people argue the fact that the reason, I'm not coming home till you release these other prisoners first. That was a whole play on the fact that, listen, they call him Songbird. Okay, he spills the beans. He did 30 propaganda recordings for them.
That's a lot. That's a lot too.
And his father was a 4-star admiral. So if he would have came, if they would have been like, okay, we're gonna release you. Say he was only there for like a year and then he gets released, but there's guys that are there for like 10 years or 5 years or whatever. Dude, he ain't going to have a life because everyone's going to know he was either released because of his daddy or he was released because he cooperated with them.
So you think they kind of housed him there?
Or he housed himself.
Listen, so he made the realization that if he just goes back,
he's fucked.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
And maybe at that point, we don't know what his mental state was. Me, I'd probably just want to die, dude. If it was me, I just want to die. I wouldn't want to go through that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I couldn't imagine if, you know, these other guys getting beat every day, you know, getting tortured every day. I would just want to fucking die.
I'd want to get out. And I'd want to get out before everybody else. I mean, listen, it's going to make me sound like a dick, but you need to survive. But I wouldn't feel good about it. I would show extreme regret about it. But it's kind of like, well, you got to do what you got to do to survive. At the end of the day, I don't want to die, okay? That's me. Maybe that's because I'm young and I have a different opinion, but I'm young. I don't want to die now. If I was a young man in Vietnam and they said, listen, if you make these recordings, we know that you're a little rich kid, I'd be like, fine. Let me do the fucking recordings. Let me go home.
Yeah, so there's that. And so, yeah, you don't... I don't know. I don't know what the guy went through. But a lot of people say he didn't have as tough as time as he claims he's had.
Well, it could have always been. It could have been against his will as well. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I don't want to be like one-sided, like big dickhead. And what I think, it's also possible that John McCain. I'm not saying that this is definitely the case, but it's also possible that they did realize that he was a 4-star admiral's son, and they didn't want to fucking fuck with the bee's nest.
Bring the noise.
Yeah, because like, what if they like let's say they really
bring the noise.
Like let's say that they tortured the fuck out of him and then killed him or something, blew his brains out. Then
Admiral would be pissed.
Then you probably would have had hellfire to deal with. Mm-hmm. So you got that. That's a possibility. But it also seemed like the Viet Cong didn't fucking care.
Yeah.
So because I mean they were already, let's be real, they were kind of winning the war at the time. What were they going to do? We were already fighting as hard as we could in the war. In my opinion, I don't know. You know, we were trying to put people out in their territory. So what were we going to do? The worst you could have done is just bomb that base in specific. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. You never know. There's a lot of possibilities.
Yeah. So there's that questionable thing. And now you go to his ship, his aircraft carrier, the USS Forrestal.
Yeah.
With the big accident there. Now, I don't know the full story. I know the full story that the Navy supplied, but there's all these other stories out there. I don't know if they're true. I don't know if they're fake. But there's people out there that think that was all caused because of John McCain. Like, he caused that fucking whole deal.
Intentionally?
Not intentionally.
You just think he fucked up. He dropped the ball.
Yeah, it was an
time.
accident. There's two things. There's one, people believe he did what was called, I
overloading.
Think, a wet start. I think they call it a wet start, where, because he was a show off and shit like that, he would overload the fuel going into the engines. So
it's called a wet start.
Yeah, wet start.
It's actually the first thing comes up.
Yeah.
John McCain wet starts in the USS Forrestal.
Yeah, there's that story, and his wet start, he put a little too much fuel in, and it caused such a fucking ignition that it fucking blew these other fucking planes up.
It says McCain never had to answer for the incident. His father and grandfather were Navy admirals with a great deal of sway.
And you know what, McCain.
This was posted back in 2008.
Yeah, and McCain changed his story a couple different times on what went down. The wet start thing, you know what? I don't know, because I seen a training video.
This is aged like shit. 2008.
Yeah.
The last line of this article. It's not very long, but the last line: "Is this man a maverick or a dangerous lunatic? Should we wait until he is president to know the answer?" No, he's dead now.
So there's that. There's that one. And then there's another one that, the Zuni missile came across the deck. It fucking hit the plane next to him. And when McCain scurried to get out of his deal, his jet there, he hit the two.
Why did he have to scurry out?
Because the plane that fucking exploded was right next to him. The plane that got hit
after the Zuni missile exploded.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exploded. Which sometimes McCain said it was his plane that exploded. Dude, the story's just so fucked up. I encourage anyone to look into it. But when he was getting out of his plane, he actually hit the buttons that dropped these, I forget what kind of bombs they were. They dropped onto the deck. And they fell into the fuel. And they're the bombs that caused these huge fucking explosions that just started like a fucking chain reaction.
Well, here's my thing: is that something like that would have had to happen, because there's not hundreds of people on the deck, is there? At one time?
Oh, there was a lot of people on the deck because they were in pre-launch mode.
Oh, okay, never mind. Okay,
they were getting ready to launch their sorties.
No. Okay, that's fine. I was just wondering, because I was gonna say 300 people got injured, 134 people died, or something like that.
They had just gone through the process of loading all the fucking.
I was gonna say, like, I know that those things can carry thousands of people.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I was like, how did hundreds of people get hurt all at once? Like, I would like to assume that would mean that it hit different parts of the thing. But if hundreds of people were on the deck, then that's.
And the fucked up thing is, I guess these boats, the aircraft carriers, they had their own like fire people, like firemen. They have their own firemen.
Well, they have like a repair crew that's their specific job.
Yeah, but they have a whole fireman team. But what happened is these firemen, of course, firemen are the first one there. They're in there. They're trying to do their thing to get it under control. But with the explosions, these guys got wiped out, man.
Uh-huh.
They all got killed. Next thing you know, all the firemen are dead, and nobody else is trained to battle this.
And it's like a jet
thing.
Fuel fire too.
Yeah, it's a jet fuel fire, and these planes are lined up so tight on the aircraft carrier because they were in pre-launch mode that it was just like fucking dominoes, dude. It was a mess. The videos. Just a fucking mess. Like, I couldn't fucking imagine. And some people say McCain fucking bailed, too. Like, once that happened, like, he went down. Like, he went lower deck. And he, like, hid out for a while. I don't know if that's true. I don't see how that could be true. Because the whole boat would be in, like, full-blown panic mode. Everyone's got to be doing something. I couldn't imagine someone just fucking, chilling out somewhere. biting their nails in the fucking corner. I don't think that's how it is. So I don't.
There's a 45-minute clip. Is that the one? Is it 45 minutes long?
I don't know. I watched a bunch of small ones. The History Channel did one on it too, and I watched part of that one. And I don't know, man. I don't know. It's fucking war, man. Anything could fucking happen in war.
Holy shit! Is that the video? Oh my god!
Did you just see the missile come off the plane?
No.
Oh, the fire is ridiculous. It's just, you see people fucking on fire and shit. It's terrible. It's terrible to fucking watch. But there's actually...
Hold on, I'm watching it now.
There's actually people that blame him for it.
I'm watching.
I don't know.
Hold on. I'm watching it. Wow, holy shit. I'm looking at people on fire. There were some people on fire walking out of it.
It's fucking terrible, dude.
I want to see the missile getting launched, to be honest with you. Yeah, the whole carrier's on fucking fire. The whole top side of it's on fire.
But a lot of people say, "Oh, that was fucking McCain douching around." I don't know.
Yeah, between that and him being tortured, I think that's a big question mark. We don't know, and we will never know.
Yeah.
So you can only make speculation. That's not what makes him a bad person. Neither of those things are what makes him a bad person, in my opinion. The things that he's done politically is what makes him a bad person. It's his political goals and the people who he's involved with, the people he shook hands with. You know what I mean? Like fucking terrorist leaders and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like after they're terrorists already, like not pre-terrorists like we trained them. No, like post-terrorism shaking hands. I don't know. I thought we didn't make deals with terrorists. Isn't that like one of the things? Like, isn't that we don't cut deals with them?
Yeah.
Whatever, dude. Point is, I don't know. He's done a lot of questionable things. My big thing that I don't like, and I know this is coming back to modern day politics. A lot of you are probably going, oh, whatever. But listen, the guy voted nay on Obamacare for however fucking long it was being tossed out there. Then just because Trump's in office, he fucking votes. He votes nay. He votes against repealing it. Yeah. It's like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
You just proved that you aren't a politician. You're a puppet. Dude, you're a puppet for the higher ups.
A puppet. He's just a bitter man.
No, he's a fucking puppet. Because it's like you said, Bernie Sanders fucking elbowing the guy. Hey, watch this. They knew it was gonna happen because he told everybody. They all knew it was going to happen other than the people who didn't want it to happen.
Yeah.
So it's like this. You have this situation where you have somebody who's like, okay, John McCain, we don't like Trump now and we don't like Republicanism. Yeah. So, that's not even a word, but whatever. So we want you to vote nay on repealing it. Okay, buddy?
Yeah.
You're going to go and do that.
Yeah.
And then he sits vacant for however long. And I think that's part of the... I don't know. We'll save this for later.
Yeah.
But he sits vacant for a while and doesn't make any votes, stalls as long as possible. You want to know why that is because they don't want Trump to get as much shit as done as possible. Yeah. The longer they can stretch out each thing that he wants to do, the less things he can do to gain momentum for the next election, which is fruitless because he already has momentum.
Yeah.
You guys are too late on that.
Dude,
he has the momentum.
And the more
something bad would have to happen now.
And the more stuff that gets shoved in people's face, like McCain's funeral, it turns people off, man. Yeah. It fucking turns them off.
Listen, it's like this. It'd be one thing if you guys were stalling and Trump did nothing. Then that might work. You'd be able to call him a do-nothing president.
Yeah.
But that's not the case. He's done so much shit. Walls being built. A whole bunch of shit's happening. You know, he just ended aid for Pakistan. $300 million. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Ended aid for fucking Pakistan.
Yeah.
It's like, that's big.
That's
he keeps doing good shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's already created his momentum for the next election. So it's not a matter of stalling now. It's a matter of something bad has to happen to him.
Yeah.
I don't mean to give any liberals any ideas, but you get what I'm saying.
And one more thing before we get up to now times. We had touched on in the 80s, he did the thing with the POWs and the MIAs with John Kerry.
Yeah.
John McCain was responsible for putting a stop to it.
Why?
which is really weird because
Was it just a sudden decision?
he was a PO.
Uh-oh.
He was a,
Wheeler Walker Jr. has tweeted. Go on.
he was a POW himself.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, him and John Kerry like put the brakes on this, and they actually sealed.
How long did they run it for?
What? How long did it last? I don't know. It was like a 2-year thing or a year thing.
It's not very long.
No, exactly. Not for a government thing.
Makes you wonder if you go down the conspiracy route, that could possibly mean that they didn't use it to find people. They used it to find people, but they used it to be like, okay, these are the people that we need to stay. We need them to be hushed.
And you just hit it on the head, because there's people that believe that he was so adamant on keeping that shit quiet.
He found the people he was in a POW camp with.
Yeah,
and that he wanted them.
He wanted to keep his story.
Yeah, and that would have gave him the resources to find out who he was with.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I had a.
Which, whether you want to admit it or not, politicians do that shit. You might be thinking, "Oh, that's a far stretch." Now, remember, there's a multi-million-dollar budget for fucking sexual for lawsuit shit.
Yeah.
There's a budget for politicians that get accused of sexual harassment. Think about that for a second. It's not the first time we spent money on making people shut up or supporting people in their fucking shitty endeavors.
Yeah. The one thing I listened to about his committee with the POWs and shit was, what's up? Okay. Alrighty. The one thing I listened to about his POW shit, a committee, was the way they did it. They actually classified so much fucking material that guys who were POWs that were released and were over here that wanted to get information on themselves,
or the people that they were with, you know,
they couldn't.
Yeah,
they couldn't. Everything was, and it's locked up forever.
Yeah, like
it's locked up forever now, and it's like, yo, John McCain, why did you do that?
Yeah, there's no reason to.
You were a fucking POW yourself. Dude, and they say that there was actually enough evidence that showed that there was a lot of POWs left there. And these POWs got whored out from Vietnam to China and to Russia.
For what?
Those countries took those POWs for information.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, shit like that. And it's like, yo, is this shit fucking true? And if it was, why did John McCain and John Kerry put the brakes on it?
Yeah.
And if you look that up, you will find so many Vietnam vets that have such a disdain for John McCain because of that reason.
Yeah. And
that leads me into, if anyone ever seen Rambo, I believe it was Rambo 2, where Rambo goes to Vietnam to save POWs.
Yeah.
He actually, they drop his ass in the jungle, right?
Mm-hmm.
He actually finds POWs.
Mm-hmm.
But the guys who picked him to send him there were like, who cares? Forget about them guys. Come home. You know, come back. You got to come back. And he wouldn't come back without the POWs because it was all just a scam. And the guy...
When did that movie come out?
Late 80s, 87 maybe.
Was that the third Rambo movie?
No, it's the second.
Was the third one when he comes back home and he's a fucking bad guy? Well, not a bad guy.
No, that was the first one. The second one he goes to Vietnam. The third one he goes to Afghanistan.
No. Which one was it when he comes back home and he's treated like shit?
That was Rambo First Blood. That was the first one.
First movie?
Yeah.
That was actually the first movie?
Yeah.
What? Really?
Yeah. First Blood was the first movie.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that was because I thought that was after the events of him being in Vietnam. Because it is.
Well, yeah, it is. But you don't know that story. First Blood is the first one.
Oh.
The one where they're chasing him around the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's First Blood. That's the first one. Then he goes to Vietnam in the second one. Then he goes to Afghanistan in the third.
Wow.
But there's this guy, like, reminds me of McCain because he's like, who cares about those guys? We can't. No one can know that we left all these guys. Blah blah blah. And
So those ladies, when was this MIA program thing? Do you know?
I believe it was like around 87, 88.
When did that movie come out?
Probably around like 86, 85 maybe.
Oh, so it was before. Okay, just making
Or
sure.
around the same time. I don't fucking know.
So is Rambo 2?
Yeah. But
Okay.
so a lot of guys think that, he got fucked. Yeah, or he fucked all these fucking POWs and shit. Whether that's true.
Wow, there's a Rambo First Blood Part 2. I think that's what I'm talking about. Is Rambo First Blood Part 2.
Okay.
When he comes back home. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. What was it? Vietnam. What was the movie called when he's in Vietnam? Rambo.
I don't know. Fucking Rambo.
Well, I'm looking at Rambo
It was
movies.
fucking Rambo.
I'm looking at the Rambo fucking movies. Hold on. I need to find out when this was real, because that kind of stuff matters, bro. What, like years? Like, because if it made news at the time, that would mean something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Rambo 3. Rambo 3.
That's the one where he's hanging out with Osama bin Laden.
No, Rambo. Yeah, that's Afghanistan. That was 88. First Blood Part 2 was 85. First Blood 1 was 82. Okay, so First Blood Part 2 is when it's about Vietnam. Him being.
Okay, yeah.
First Blood is when he's back home.
Yeah.
So that was 85. So the second movie was 85.
Okay, so it was 85.
So that was technically before. So that was just coincidence then. It was just all right. It was just
Really? How do we know?
Because it was before this. Before he was in this
but
committee.
CIA runs Hollywood, so.
Oh yeah, you never know. I don't know why they'd want to sell out their own guy.
Yeah, that's true. So there's that whole deal, which, dude, I don't fucking like the guy. I don't fucking like him. What kills me the most...
What is that buzzing? Is that you? It is you.
Yeah. What kills me the most is when he... The latest thing he fucking did, man, with that repeal and replace. He campaigned. Yeah. He campaigned in Arizona. He won on that. Repeal and replace, repeal and replace, repeal and replace. They took a vote for repeal and replace, and he put his fucking thumb down. And it had nothing to do with us, had nothing to do with our healthcare system. It had to do with the fact that he didn't fucking like Donald fucking Trump. Nope. Okay? Dude, he didn't even invite Sarah Palin, his running mate from 2008. She was on the do not invite list for his fucking funeral. Okay, I wasn't a fan of Sarah Palin. I really didn't like her. Ooh, golly gee, freaking, I could see Russia from a door. Yeah, I really didn't like her. But dude, she was the only fucking hope he had during that fucking election. And he didn't even fucking... she's not allowed to come to the fucking funeral. Yeah. You know why? Because she...
We're getting buzzing.
Because she started...
There we go.
She started the whole...
Sorry, that was bothering me.
She started... Sarah Palin and all those crazies and the fucking Tea Party, they started the whole new fucking change of the Republican Party.
Yeah.
And people like McCain fucking despise that. You know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it led to Trump.
Listen, and I think it goes into the fact that of him, people like him getting old and losing power. So
yeah. I think he was one of those people that were right up there with the fucking Clintons, right up there with the Bushes.
Well, he brushed shoulders with the elite. He was set up from birth.
He was the one making money.
Yeah.
He was the one making money, man. And all these fucking... Dude, you look at the Middle East. The Middle East, dude, it's because of people like him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's hanging out with fucking... 1 week
he's a POW and he wants to continue war. Those are the reasons why he's not a good person.
Yeah.
He wanted war. He's the kind of he was the kind of Republican that wanted to press the big red button.
Peace through fucking war.
Yeah.
Bomb the shit out
now
of it.
I understand that but only to a degree when it's necessary.
Yeah.
I don't believe in war when it's not necessary. He's the kind of guy who wants war because it's an economic advancement.
Not only that, if you Google or go on YouTube and look up John McCain, bomb, 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 Iran. He actually was singing like a fucking Beach Boys song. Someone asked him.
Bomb, 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 Iran.
Yeah, they asked him. They
Yeah.
asked him what he thought the solution for Iran was, and he's like, bomb, 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 Iran. You know,
I want war.
Yeah.
I want to kill people.
and his when he was called out on that, he's like, listen, I was talking to a group of veterans. That's how we talk. And if you think
well,
that's
no, yeah, okay.
If
it's
you
not
think
about
that's
it's not
wrong,
about how he said it. It's the fact that he did say it. It's about that he wants war. Ow, my ear bowels.
Yeah, sorry about
That's cool. But listen, it's not about.
You had never had a conversation with Kerry about about Vice President.
Everybody knows I had a conversation. Everybody knows that I had a conversation. There's no American in Washington that knows that. There's no one, and you know it too.
What was it?
So you know, so I don't even know why you asked.
Well, I asked because
No, you do know it. You do know.
I just read in the Times in May of.
I don't know what you read or heard of, and I don't know the circumstances. Maybe in May of '04 I hadn't had a conversation. I don't know, but it's well known that I had the conversation. You have a question on another issue?
Well, can I ask you when the conversation was?
No, because the issue is closed as far as I'm concerned. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it in America.
Can you describe the conversation?
Pardon me?
Can you describe the
No,
conversation?
of course not. I don't private conversations.
Okay, can I ask you?
Why should I? Then there's no such thing as a private conversation, is there? If you have a private conversation with someone and then him come and tell you.
Dude, it goes on forever. He actually tells her to shut the fuck up. And
listen.
People say
listen.
that's the true McCain.
Listen. Well, that's fine because that's what I'm like. You know, if I was a politician, I'd still be that way. That's not the point, though. The point is just it's not a matter of how he talks or what he says. It's a matter of why he said it. You get what I'm saying? Him saying "bam, bam, 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 bam." I want war. I want people to die.
Yeah.
That's not. It's not funny. That's.
No.
Oh, I mean, whatever. If it's funny, it's funny. It might be funny to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, I didn't mean to say it's not funny. I probably would think it's funny. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. But that's not the point, though. The point is that he wants war. He wants to bomb. He wants to fucking fight. Why? You're a POW. You should hate war. You should want it to never happen to anyone else.
Dude, and when what was it? Trump's first year. You know, McCain was getting on planes and he was going over there
To Syria.
Dude, he was going to Syria.
Yeah.
He was going here, there. He was going to some of those old Russian countries. You know, we're going to give you money. We're going to give you weapons. We're going to give you this. It's like,
and that's another reason he got pissed off because we didn't want to do that.
He was part of the whole
military-industrial complex. Yeah, that was his job.
And Clinton and Obama, when Trump said they created ISIS, they did fucking create ISIS.
They literally did.
They literally
armed
did.
them.
And
they
John
armed them
McCain was part of that.
They were part of the kind of people who didn't believe in real wars. They were the proxy war people.
Yeah.
They're like, let's not fight the wars ourselves. Let's just keep straight making war. That way we can make money off of it.
And if you know anything about what's going on now,
that way if these guys win, we can put in our own politicians, and now we own that country. And that's how that works. And John McCain was one of those people.
And if
he was
you
not
know
a good person.
anything about what's going on now with the whole Russia bullshit and Fusion GPS and the dossier, they say that fucking McCain was the go-between
for the dossier.
And it's like, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck, man?
You're a fucking Arizona senator.
Dude, Trump is cutting in... he's cutting in on all their food, man. And that's why they fucking hate him. That funeral was such a pathetic fucking joke.
Yeah.
I mean...
especially the daughter's eulogy. I understand
dude,
a lot of it.
On.
A lot of fake crying. I'm sorry to say, lady. But you didn't cry until you turned pages.
Dude, you would have thought by watching some of those fucking people talk that Trump fucking killed this guy.
Yeah. Well, that's not why what she was getting at. She, a lot of it was just her describing him as a father.
Yeah.
Fine, but it was clearly a prefab fucking speech. A lot of it was clearly you just being like, "Hey, you know what? Yeah, my dad, he was a great dad." Turn page. Oh, he was such a good dad. And it's like, you couldn't have possibly made it any more fake.
Yeah.
And then, not to mention, when you start talking politics about it,
Yeah.
you're talking about how great your I get it. I'm sorry. I have to acknowledge the fact that it is a funeral. Nobody's going there and going to talk shit.
Yeah.
Especially not his daughter.
Yeah.
But I know it's fake. I know he's a fucking piece of shit. So me listening to it just makes me mad.
Yeah, I didn't understand.
And not to mention, I want a little fucking red flag here. His daughter kind of threw in a little bone here that kind of showed that he was a piece of shit. Because she was talking, a lot of you have crossed with my father before. And you know what? If a lot of you are sitting here stone-faced, but if he was in your position, he probably would have said something salty under his breath, and my mother would have elbowed him and told him to stop.
Yeah.
It's like, so you're saying that your
dad's
father,
an asshole.
your father would have came to someone's funeral, talked shit about them, and then fucking laughed about it, and so that's the kind of guy he was.
Dude.
I understand having a dark humor. I have a dark humor. I have an extremely dark humor. If you know me in real life, I'm not all the screws are there. Okay. Not even I would talk shit about someone at their... Not even my worst enemy would I go to their funeral and be like, "What a piece of shit, dude. What a fucking faggot."
and to sum up the whole fucking deal, his whole funeral is, Obama gave, the number one eulogy. Yeah. Are you serious? Are you fucking serious right now?
The hashtag resistance.
It's like, dude, what the fuck, man? I don't get it.
And I think the biggest sin of it all is that the left fucking are eating it up.
They're eating it up, and they're the same people in 2008 that called him a fucking racist.
Mm-hmm.
They're the same people that called him a fucking racist.
He was a racist 10 years ago. He's not a racist anymore, though. I like him.
And now he's a fucking hero to the left. Dude. Oh, my God.
Politics, particularly on the left, is a shitstorm.
Dude, it's ridiculous.
At least on the right, we know who we like and who we don't like. You know what I mean? So at least that doesn't change. And the only time it does change is when somebody does something we like. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, I guess you could say the same thing about the left, but it's like, it's pretty clear. It's clear and concise and logical. Whereas the left, it's just like, dude, Adolf Hitler could be like, I fucking hate Donald Trump. Ah, yes, fuck. And they'd be like, fuck yeah, Hitler. Yeah. Fuck yeah, Hitler. Yeah. Thank you, Hitler.
You're absolutely
Nazis weren't that bad. They weren't that bad. Come on.
Yeah.
It's just like, fuck off. For real.
Yeah, I just, I don't know. Now, if, like I said, it seemed like, I don't know, it's just, listening to these people, it's like, you'd think Donald Trump fucking personally killed this guy.
Yeah.
So now that leads us into the whole Q thing.
Oh boy, here's the big part. Here's the conspiracy.
Whole Q thing. I'm still not sold on Q. I don't know. I'd like to believe Q is real.
I'm half sold on him, kinda. I'm not sitting on the fence about it. I'm kind of sold. I think it's a matter of, I think it is definitely an insider of sorts, and I think that he has info, but I don't think all of his info is correct.
Yeah.
Because I think it's just like getting info from anybody. You know, it's like a game of telephone. You never know what's true, what's not true. Something gets molded up along the way. Because he makes some predictions that are really creepy. In fact, the John McCain one is extremely creepy. Yeah. You go on. It's yours.
And
explain it.
And now, if you listen to, the only Q guy I'm really going to promote here is a dude called Praying Medic. I said his name.
Please go check him out. He's pretty cool.
I said his name a million times. He's the only Q guy I'm going to promote. Dude, Q called John McCain's death 30 days before it happened.
Now, not just vaguely.
Yeah.
It wasn't a vague call out.
Down to the time.
And you might be like, what? Like the hour? No, the minute.
Yeah, the minute.
So he made a post about John McCain about a month earlier before he died. What was it, 428? Was it 428?
Yeah, it was 30 days. It was exactly 30 days.
It was like 428 p.m.
Yeah.
Exactly 30 days later, to the minute, John McCain is he is pronounced dead.
Yeah.
At 4:28 p.m. 30 days later, and he said something.
Is that the right time?
He said what happened?
I don't know if is the 4:28 the right time?
Something like that. It was 4. It was 4 p.m. It was sometime 4 p.m. I remember
whatever the time is. But it was identical.
It was identical to the minute.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing. Here's why it was creepy. Because he said that John. If you notice something about Trump and about Q is that they do not say John McCain's name.
Yeah, no.
They call him no name. Thou shall not be named. Or they just don't say his name. Or they call him dog. Right? They called him a dog.
Yeah, something with the dog.
Yeah. Well, about a month earlier, on that 4 p.m. time, he said every dog has its day at the end of his post or something like that. Every dog has its day. 30 days later. 4 p.m., whatever the time was, exactly to the minute.
Yeah.
John McCain was declared dead. So
and it was National Dog Day.
Yeah. So you can maybe you can say it's just a massive coincidence. Yeah, sometimes lightning strikes in the same spot twice. You never know. Sometimes you get eaten by a shark in the lake. You never know.
I encourage you to go check out Praying Medic. Go to his YouTube. You'll see it. He's got so many posts.
Basically, what I think is that John McCain, he was set. They had plans for him. Basically,
some people
they had a schedule to deal with him.
Some people say, the believers in this shit say McCain was one of the dirty ones, so he was given what was called the Rommel option. If you don't know who Rommel is, Rommel was a high-ranking officer.
A Nazi Germany war hero.
Yeah, Rommel. What did they call him? The Desert Rat, or something like that.
Let me look it up. He was part of the Desert Theater.
Yeah. Well, anyway, he was.
He might have been the Desert Wolf. Hold on.
Yeah, the Desert Wolf.
Erwin Rommel, Desert Fox.
Desert Fox. That's it. So he was a huge hero in Nazi Germany.
5'6". He was a manlet.
But he kind of fucking pissed Hitler off there. So Hitler said to him, listen, you can keep your status as this big-time fucking war hero.
Yo.
Or we're going to erase all that
They actually
shit.
call his cause a forced suicide.
Yeah.
They call it is that because they know that he killed himself?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Hitler gave him an option. Listen, I can make you not a fucking hero anymore and put you on trial
and then execute you.
Execute your ass. Or you can fucking kill yourself.
And
you'll everything will be saved for you. Your legacy will be preserved. And that's what he did. Rommel fucking he drank some fucking cyanide.
Yeah.
And he fucking killed himself. And there's people out there that believe that the people fighting the cabal, Trump's people fighting the cabal, did that to McCain.
Yeah. Because I think it's worth noting that's also a possibility because Trump said nothing about McCain, nothing good, nothing bad, really. What did he do? Yeah. He probably made a tweet, right? Did he make a tweet like, "Hey, sorry about it"?
Yeah, he made a tweet to the family.
What?
Yeah, he made a tweet to the family.
But that's it. One tweet.
And he let them use what's it called? Not Air Force One. Is it called Air Force Two? The vice president's plane.
I don't know.
They let him use the vice president's plane to transport the body. Mm-hmm. From Arizona to D.C.
Yeah.
Trump made that call. Trump wanted that done. So, I don't know, man. If you believe in Q, like I said, I'm on the fence. I see all this shit all the time that makes sense, but I'm still on the fence about it.
Basically, it could imply that there is that they're trying that there's a power struggle in Washington right now. Not Democrats and Republicans.
Well, we know that.
We do.
Yeah.
Well, it's not Democrat versus Republican. It's the new wave versus the old wave.
Yeah.
It's you got people like Trump and his buddies who you don't know who his buddies are.
Yeah. No.
Nobody knows who his buddies are, and his buddies could be people like Q, who have insider information, who are trying. Because let's be real, guys in like the CIA, FBI, they kill people. They get rid of people they don't like, political enemies.
That's how it is.
And if you look into it, you can find all kinds of shit of people conveniently dying.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think that Trump's people are trying to do? And in fact, did Q himself say that him doing this whole Q thing is a psyop?
Yeah.
He's the one that said that.
Yeah.
This is a positive psyop. This is this is basically them using their tactics against them.
Yeah.
And I know it seems dirty. You know, some of you might be saying to yourself, so him making Senator McCain do this Rommel option, wouldn't that mean that they're equally as bad?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. They're using their own. They're using their own methods against them to. It's kind of like how it might be really bad to disembowel Hitler and then make him eat his own guts, but it's Hitler, so it's okay.
Yeah.
It's not morally good, but you did it to a bad guy.
And some of these people that Q talk about, I mean, they're
not saying that Senator McCain was like Hitler, but he was a bad guy.
Listen, they're high forms of treason against this fucking country.
Yeah.
High forms of treason.
By technicality, there's people on the news calling for a fucking Confederacy.
That was fucked up. Chris Cuomo. Oh, well, Confederacy. That's a good idea. I've never heard of that before. You fucking moron.
So there's literally treason going on right now. There's an organization against the American government. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm all about revolution and whatnot, but I'm
not for their revolution.
Well, listen.
Their revolution is fucking globalism.
Well, listen. Here's what I have to say. I think I'm not saying everybody deserves a chance at revolution per se, but I'm saying that everybody has their own ideals, and they're going to fight for them, and that's understandable. Yeah. But the point is that this isn't a matter of any rights being violated. It's a matter of we tried handling this peacefully, and we voted Trump in, we won fair and square, countywide. Okay? And this is us trying to handle this our way. We won fair and square. Just like when Obama won, all you did was have a bunch of straggler Republicans complaining? Yeah. That's all you got. Yeah. But this is a whole nother deal. It'd be one thing if Donald Trump was really a white menace killing people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
he's not. If I would understand if he was actually doing bad things, if he was actually hurting people, if people were suffering because of him, then I'd understand. But that's not the thing. You guys want a revolution because you don't like him. Yeah. That's stupid.
It's crazy.
It's just not how things work. Yeah. Because I want a revolution is because our government treats us like shit. Yep. Because we had a revolution over high taxes. Because we had a revolution over a lack of representation. Because those are legitimate reasons. Those are reasons. It's not just because they didn't. When we had a revolution in the 1700s, we didn't have it because we didn't like Great Britain. Well, yeah, no shit, we didn't like them. But it wasn't just that. It wasn't, well, I don't like Great Britain. They're big, mean, red people. No. We had it because we were being taxed to shit, and we were being treated like shit. So we wanted to be independent. So that's a good reason to have a revolution. A not good reason to have a revolution is, I don't like the orange man. Yeah. That's not how that works. That's called being a fucking baby.
Pretty much.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so, I don't know. So that's our deal on John McCain. I don't know. I didn't like him.
I'm not a fan of him. The things that he's done is not particularly great. I'm not saying that he's this grand evil person. Yeah. He's just like every other politician. Well, you never know what goes on in the background. Yeah. If you're into like the whole Bohemian Grove thing, he's maybe fucking cutting up kids and fucking touching little boys. You never know.
Oh, he has a McCain Foundation too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their donorship went up.
And in case you didn't know anything about that, and you're like, oh, so he was charitable. No, they use those as middlemans for briberies because you can't directly bribe someone. Yeah. But if you do it through charity, it doesn't count anymore.
Yeah, his donations went up when the Clinton Foundation started to fucking fold.
Yeah. So that basically meant that people stopped trusting Clinton. Yeah. That was them being like, we can't bribe you because you have nothing.
Yeah, she has nothing to offer anymore.
Yeah. So they had to move on to someone else.
Yeah. And George Soros was a big funder of him. Actually, George Soros
that says a lot. Mr. Liberal Globalist.
Yeah. George Soros actually tweeted some shit when McCain died. I don't even know.
Can you fucking believe it? And then there are people who fucking support John McCain, on the right, like soft right. I'd say like the people who are somewhere towards the moderate level. Are like, I like John McCain because he was a Republican. Yeah. Listen, Mr. Globalist guy who goes and crashes economies for fun. Yeah. Who likes to sacrifice his own people to survive and then doesn't feel bad about it. He really liked John McCain. He likes to support him.
I'll tell you, for all you that hate the swamp, the DC swamp, John McCain was the epitome for the.
Yeah, he was like a swamp headmaster.
Dude, I listened to Lindsey Graham Lindsey Graham gave a fucking thing on the Senate floor,
Yeah.
a little thing about him. I listened to that. Dude, I'm starting to wonder if fucking Lindsey Graham wasn't sucking him off or something. You should have heard this fucking guy. You should have heard him. Oh my God. I don't know. I felt bad for him. At the same time, I was
Me and
like,
him diddled little boys
oh
together.
my God. He was fucking, wouldn't stop crying. He loved him and probably sucked him.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, it was fucked up, man.
Whatever.
But what are we at?
We're at 145.
All right.
It's about time to wrap it up.
Yeah, we'll wrap it
Yeah,
up.
but you guys get the point. It's like we told you some of the bad shit he's done. You know, you can form your own opinion. If you want to look it up, if you don't want to believe it, then fine, don't believe it.
Yeah, just check into it, man.
Just like I say with anything else.
Don't listen to me.
Oh, I thought I was missing half my files.
Yeah,
I'm not.
so
Well, it was at the end of the day, you know, do your own research and fucking think what you want, man. Because like, you know, sometimes maybe we're wrong. You know, maybe we have it all wrong. Because should I mention real quick? I was also talking like maybe he was a person in a bad position.
Oh yeah.
Because maybe you never know that either.
That happens all the time. Politics,
Well,
Hollywood, anything.
my grand conspiracy that I have of it is that if you want a power in the Congress, or if you want power in presidency, if you want pull, you have to do something bad.
You have to.
Because they
Blackmail.
Yeah. You have to do whatever they say if they have something on you. And I think that whole thing with the carrier that might have been a thing because the government let him off the hook.
Yeah.
It was the government that did it. So they could always dangle that over his head. You know, and he could have done something else behind closed doors where it's like, listen, you could have power, but you got to do this.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's my opinion about like senators who have no pull, these no-name senators who have maybe good ideas, like Ron Paul, guys like Rand Paul, guys like this, who you may know their name, but you barely know anything about their policies, what they want to do. And it's because they have too much. Because I personally believe that these politicians are offered up. They're offered up at some point. You have to do this bad thing. If you want the power, you don't have to do it. But if you don't do it, then you don't get the power. You don't get anything.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's kind of what happened with Bernie Sanders at first. I think he was I think he was on the side of the people, but then they said, "Listen, you have to. We're pulling the plug on you, buddy, and there's nothing you can do about it. Because if you do something about it, if you say anything, we're gonna fuck your career."
Yeah.
And it's like, and I think maybe John McCain was in the same boat. That's all I'm saying. There's a possibility he was in the same boat.
Yeah.
You know, where he wasn't so bad of a guy, but he wanted the power.
Yeah.
He wanted the sway, but at the end of the day, you're puppeted. You have no control over this, because if you do, then you lose everything. So,
yeah,
because they say they did that to the Kennedys, you know, after Kennedy died. So that's a whole other thing. That's just about everything. I don't know. Think what you want. Do your own research, and you know, if you like John McCain, I'm sorry that we trashed on him.
Oh, here, I got one more thing to play for you. This is people protesting Henry Kissinger in front of a Senate hearing.
The committee will stand in recess until the Capitol Police.
And John McCain's trying to get it under control.
I've been a member of this committee for many years, and I have never seen anything as disgraceful and outrageous and despicable as the last demonstration that just took place about, you know, you're going to have to shut up or I'm going to have you arrested. If we can't get the Capitol Hill Police in here
exercising your free speech in a public place, in a place that's owned by the government, that's paid for by the people, you're not allowed to talk.
Get out of here, you low-life scum.
And then everybody fucking claps.
It's funny because I think Henry Kissinger is a fucking war criminal.
Dude,
But anyway.
I just think it's fucking stupid because everybody claps.
Yeah.
Get out of this place paid for by the taxpayers. You're not allowed to speak freely here.
You little life scum.
I'll have you arrested. That's the epitome of you're not free.
Yeah.
You're not free. Yeah. That's when you have to say, wow, if a politician can threaten to arrest me for fucking demonstrating, maybe my country isn't so free. Maybe we fucked up somewhere along the way.
All right.
Yeah.
So that was that episode. Hey, what episode was this?
19.
19.
Next episode's a free episode.
Oh, yeah, it's a free episode.
Free
The
episode.
Big 20.
The Big 20.
The Big 2-0.
Yeah.
We're almost at drinking age.
Yeah. 21. 21. It'll be titled Finally Legal.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah. Tomorrow, or not tomorrow. Next week.
Yeah.
Next week will be free episode, and well, we don't know what we're gonna talk
Yeah.
about until we press the play button. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're on everything.
Yep. Well, not everything. All right. Well, here's our Twitter. Check us out on Twitter at Drink and a Theory. No spaces, no underscores or anything. It's just at Drink and a Theory all together there. My Twitter, if you want to check me out, I don't really post anything about politics or any conspiracy stuff because I already got my one account banned for being not nice. So my Twitter is at Jimmy Bones My Guy. It's exactly how it sounds, and no spaces, no. So it's just at Jimmy Bones My Guy. I post a lot of esports stuff. Like I follow Siege. So we have an Instagram. Jake posts on there sometimes. Posts some funny shit. Posted something about a bunch of guys in our state fucking animals or some shit.
Oh, I want to give my personal Twitter too, real quick.
Okay, go ahead. Give us your personal Twitter.
My personal Twitter is at capital MY number 4, capital EVER, capital WORLD. My forever world. Hit me up there. Call me a moron. Tell me I'm an idiot and I don't understand
Anything.
history.
Yeah, even if you don't mean it, even if you really like us, we like it when you say mean shit to us.
Call me a stupid bitch.
Anyway, yeah, our Instagram is drink_and_a_theory_podcast. Post all kinds of shit. Eventually, I'm going to get on that. It's just like, I don't know. Yeah, I'll get on it. Yeah, I don't know what you guys are listening to us on, but we're on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Stitcher. That's my wake up for work alarm. And yeah, SoundCloud, iTunes, and Stitcher. We're on those 3 platforms. You know, if your friends don't have a fucking iPhone, tell them to get Stitcher.
Yeah.
And if your friends don't have an iPhone or Android, they're poor and they have a Windows phone, like I did for a while. Tell them to listen to us on SoundCloud.
And we're on.
So we have one for each platform.
Yeah, we're on YouTube as well. As
Yeah.
far as the full episodes, I think I'm a week behind. I don't know. I'll have to check.
Good job with that. Yeah, I said I was going to do that, but my video editing program, it takes too long to export. It takes like 5 hours to export like an hour and a half of fucking video.
Yeah, so I'm a little behind on that. I'll try to catch up.
Fucking shitty.
I like to post
We also have a Facebook.
a week later anyway. So
well, Drinking a Theory, you know, you'll find us on Facebook.
Yeah,
Drinking a Theory.
yeah.
It's the same
Drinking
thing.
a
It's the
Theory.
same thing as the Twitter and everything. You'll find it. You'll know what it is.
yeah,
What are we at? Like 350 likes or something like that?
yeah, something like that. We
pretty good.
lost one last week. Must have pissed someone off.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that's everything, guys.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week. We're gonna talk about whatever the fuck we talk about next week.
boners.
Boners, probably.
All
You
right.
never know. Maybe I'll go on a 20-minute tirade about fleshlights again.
Ooh.
Yeah. All right, guys. I was Drinking a Theory. Check us out next
Oh, fuck
week.
Tom Arnold.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
fuck Tom Arnold.
Yeah.
Also, fuck, who's the other deadbeat actor? The other deadbeat we just talked about at the beginning of the episode.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah, fuck them too.
No,
Don't fucking
who's the
know.
guy that Trump doesn't even acknowledge?
Oh no, Eminem.
Yeah, Eminem. Yeah, fuck you too, dude.
Yeah, fuck you.
You're an idiot.
The real
What
dick,
was that? What was that diss album? That's
the-
just you trying to be relevant. You
the real
47-year-old old ass
Dick
fucking.
Shady.
Dude, just stop.
Yeah. All right.
Don't fucking make albums unless it's gonna be like it was in the early 2000s. Get out of here. All right. That's everything, guys. See you
All right.
later.
Bye.